before we start, this to me is like interviewing Led Zeppelin, and I know that sounds ridiculous. I know that sounds ridiculous, but when I first heard Seer 5 years ago, it became the most obsessive music experience I've had since Elder and King Buffalo.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
And I was watching the video for Salazar last night, and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to talk to these people? To me, you're the most original band in rock. You're not stoner, you're not doom, you do your own thing. And I just got to tell you, thank you.
Oh,
well, thank you.
Well, thanks to you for
Thank
these
you.
kind words. We're truly honored.
So if you don't mind, just introduce yourselves briefly and let everybody out in the world know what it is that you do with Birdstone.
Okay, so my name is Basil. I'm the singer and the guitarist in Birdstone.
I am Edwige. I'm the bass player.
And I'm Ben. I'm the drum guy, and I'm in the band since 3-4 years now.
So were you the drummer on Loss?
No,
No, so Ben actually
I
joined
just
us
did the
after
drums
this record.
on the last album.
That was one of my biggest questions, but we'll get to that. Edwige, thank you. Now I know how to pronounce your name as an American. As an American, I can't even pronounce oil. We say oil. We don't even say American. We say American. Ever since
American.
ever since the Bush years. So one of the things about Seer, and I caught that album at the same time that Plane Ride came out with theirs. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Yeah, I know
out
Matt.
of Germany.
Yeah,
Which
They
band,
do
sorry?
a Plane Ride.
Plane Ride. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And you both do things very similarly. It is deeply rooted into what I think is American blues. I think you go in a different direction. But the rhythm section, Edwige, you're my favorite bass player. You simply are.
Thank you.
You remind me of Tina Weymouth with the skills of Jeff Berlin. I am constantly in amazement. So there's a European movement that I think I can put a Plane Ride and Birdstone together, where you have really picked up where my countrymen have left off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, we wouldn't have the pretension, to say that we tried to pick it up where any country or any culture has had already stopped, but we sure did grew up with those influences. We grew up with American music, and of course, old blues and rock and roll stuff. So it is just like our interpretation of all the music and the cultural, could even came from the broader culture, American culture, from movies, books that we might have read, it's just a vision that we try to put on music, put on paper, and on wax, of all those influences that make us who we are as musicians right now.
Whenever I listen to your stuff, I'm reminded of Deep Louisiana. So I don't know if you're familiar with Anne Rice's The Vampire Lestat and the Interview with the Vampire. But very deep swamp, very very occult adjacent, I guess it is. I think you deal
like Southern Gothic
with
stuff.
Yes,
Almost,
you do
yeah.
Southern. You're the best Southern Gothic movie I can think of.
Yeah.
So, how did this whole thing start? How did you and Edwige get together, and how long has Birdstone been a thing? And how did the madness start?
You want to start?
Long
Edwige?
time ago.
Yeah, long time ago, indeed.
Basil and I met. Sorry, I have a bad English. At middle school, I think.
yeah, middle school.
Middle school, and start with classical music together.
No, it was just we started learning music together with Edwige, and we mostly, like most of the bands out there, we made our first rehearsals around Led Zeppelin, AC/DC. There was also some Cream, and old Eric Clapton songs as well. I think the first that we worked on together was "Sunshine of Your Love," uh, and those old classic records, of course. So we took it up on stage for several years, just doing covers of those amazing bands. And Birdstone started when actually we just turned maybe 17, 18, around that time, and we started to we wanted to try to do our own music, try to write our own songs, and basically that's when it started.
The drums are one of the most interesting parts of Birdstone to me, and congratulations, Ben, for seamlessly coming in.
Thanks.
But I had to comment that your drumming feels to me more Gene Krupa than John Bonham. You have a very jazz feel. And by jazz, I'm talking way back in the 30s, the cabaret bands, the theatrical performers.
Okay, yeah.
In live
well,
as well. On stage as well.
It's new to me. I don't know what to tell you. I don't listen to jazz. I don't play jazz. I think I may just play some stuff I just learned. From metal I listen to. But no, I don't listen to jazz that much. But I'm happy to know that someone told you this. Yeah.
Edwige, do you have a jazz background?
No, I don't play jazz.
There's nothing more exciting than a reviewer being totally wrong.
No,
Totally wrong.
No, you're not. It's like I'm
No,
a true
you're not
believer
wrong.
that when you're putting something in the world, releasing a song or an album or anything, it is still yours, but it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to how everyone is appreciating it, what's everyone hearing into this. We could make like a huge lists of what people think our influences are. They come to the merge table after the show and they're like, oh, I heard this artist, and this one. And we're like, that's great. I mean, that's you. And if you want to, project yourself and see yourself and what you like in the music we make, it's great.
Well, I think part of it might be cultural.
Yep.
'Cause I think that in your education system, especially in your music system in high school in the formative years, you're probably exposed to more than what our students are exposed to. So for you, it could be that you don't consider it that way because it's normal for you. But the way that your band does the groove, so you can be going on in a 4/4 time signature, and at the snap of a finger, you go into 6/8, and then you do a syncopation, and then you go back into, and that's where I get the jazz thing from. It's
all right.
It's not a style I'm accustomed to hearing unless I listen to really old vaudeville cabaret where they're playing a soundtrack along with the silent movie, and then it's humorous and it's light, and then something dark happens and the band and the orchestra twists all of a sudden really quick.
Okay.
You're so theatrical in your music, in your songwriting, that to me it's like, oh my God, you must have grown up listening to a steady diet, but it just comes to you naturally, I guess.
No, so we did studied in music schools but not proper jazz. It was just like kind of a fun thing for us to do when we started writing our own songs, to try to incorporate those kind of asymmetric rhythmic signatures like 7/8, 6/8, or 9/8 sometimes. It's just a way for us to make it more fun, and in a artistic way to sometimes make the I'm lost for words. Use those rhythmic signatures and those modulations and in change of sections to serve the artistic meaning of the song or what we want to talk about.
Does some of your inspiration come from literature, plays, or movies?
Yeah.
Like
some of those.
Alquézar, where did that come from? It is such.
It is a true story.
True story, yeah.
Can I hear the story?
Yeah. So there was. This is my doom, my curse, my fate, and now it's too late. I won't turn back, because I'm on this way. That was our first gig abroad. We played a private show in Spain. So Alquézar is actually a village in northern Spain. It's on the edge of a cliff. You have huge canyons all around. I don't want to say any blasphemous thing, but it's kind of, for us, look like what you can picture of the Grand Canyon or American Western sceneries. And so when we went back there, we were very young, maybe just turned 18 or 19 back then. It was, almost 10 years ago. And so the ride, we took the ride with Edwige, Leo, our drummer, was already there. And so we had lots of adventures on the way, got arrested by cops. They searched the old vehicles, and we lost the van after the show. Just right after the gig, we spent like an hour or two just looking for the van in like this maze of a medieval city. The whole story was pretty fun. Everything turned out well in the end, but we had this idea of a classic blues song, talking about like just someone walking and struggling, knowing he's gonna die, but trying to move forward. And we were like, wouldn't it be like the best way possible is to name this song Alquézar, just a small reference to the trip we had just a few months ago.
Looking for the van.
I love that story. That's an amazing story, because I remember the first time I heard you scream. Yeah. I had I'm on the stereo and I dropped the dishes that I was carrying. I just went, and then I ran into the room, started the song again, and then I'm not exaggerating. I listened to that album every day for about a month, at least once. Putting that album on. But that brings us to the new one, The Great Anticipation, because no one has anticipated new Birdstone more than I have. And this is where Ben comes in, I think, big time, because your recording has always been excellent. Where Edwige is in the mix and being able to hear. Do you record live, or are you doing separate tracks? How do you do that?
For this one, we recorded separate tracks. For the previous ones, the original lineup recorded everything live. But for this one, we just went with separate instruments, separate tracks. So it was... yeah, sorry.
I could never have told the difference. I would have sworn that you're still performing live.
Well,
because
the thing is, we didn't have too much time to prepare, so there is two things out of this. There is a very simple, I don't know how to tell it, but the very essence of ourselves went to this, incorporated to this album. So it's simple, very simple, and it's not perfect. And in that way, it feels like, it may feel like it's live. But yeah, that's just because we didn't have too much time to prepare and to record and to write this album. It's very, yeah, simple.
I know that Birdstone has deliberately tried to combine blues with progressive. And I think you said, but the beginning at Eyes on the Ceiling is worthy of, it reminds me of Elder, but in... But in a very good way. You're not ripping them off. But I feel like on this record, you're going much more progressive than you had on the other ones. Yeah. And then the recording, Ben, is spectacular. Putting it on headphones, hearing the washing, the effects. I'm hearing some flange, probably some delay and other things. And it's this epic beginning, and then boom, straight into the blues. Yeah. It is. I had goosebumps. I went to my girlfriend. My hair was standing up. I screamed, by the way. I forgot that your album was coming out last week, and I saw a little blurb, and I screamed. And she had to come into the room. What's wrong? What's wrong? I said, I've wasted all day. I've done work. I've done billing. I forgot Birdstone. So I wrote on Facebook, if I don't do anything else this month, it's Birdstone's fault.
We're never gonna set foot in Northern Carolina. That's right.
North Carolina, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The chance of you coming here is about that big, right?
No.
Right now, yeah.
Everyone's gonna be mad at us.
Well, yeah, hopefully so. And if you sell 250 albums
Oh,
here,
no.
you know, that might. Are you still working with Ripple Music? Are they distributing?
Oh no, actually, Ripple Music is working with our other band with Benjamin.
Okay.
They are
The
they are
Necromancers.
distributing a bit of our albums there, but not with Birdstone on this one. It's fully.
So is that the Necromancers?
Yep. Yep.
But by the way, love that as well. You don't play guitar on Necromancers. You're just singing.
I know I play guitar as well. Yep.
You do play guitar? Okay. Some reason I thought. Basil, how do you sing with your singing is one rhythm and dynamic, and then your playing is a totally different. And the way that I'm phrasing it in my review is you're the madman, you're going crazy. Edwige is making certain that everything goes forward. And for the first time in history, the drummer is the sane person who's just trying to keep everything together.
Yeah, it is.
It is a monstrous album. How do you, I mean, I have no idea how you sing live. Again, different dynamics, different rhythm, and then your chord changes are vicious.
It's it's one thing that truly helps as Edwige as well. We're all drummers in the band.
Yeah.
Okay.
Edwige and I started with drums before taking on the bass and the guitar and singing. And I don't know. It's as dumb as work. It's like if you wanna learn to play something different as with the guitar than what you're singing with different rhythmic signatures or intentions, you have to take things really slow and just repeat those to reach the point where your voice is as much as a muscular extension of your body as your fingers. It must be like one instrument telling different things at the same time, but you have to reach the point where you don't think about it anymore. And it's kind of a struggle when we start touring on a new record, on new songs. You can hear it's still fresh because I'm like focusing on the next part coming while I haven't already finished the one I'm playing right now. And it's yeah. It can be difficult, but it's just you just need time to practice it slowly, and then rising up the pace to where you want it to go.
Basil loves challenge.
Yeah.
And Edwige, do you find the same thing? Because you're bass playing. Who are your influences, Edwige? Because you play a very classic 1960s, 1970s, John Paul Jones, Fleetwood Mac, even Uriah Heep. I can go on and on. But who are your influences?
So many people listen to punk music. I really like the dynamics and the emotion in life. So I use this energy for Birdstone. It's like, yeah, I love blues, but I love when music it's urgent and powerful. I don't know how to say, but
No,
It's fine.
and some may say
Do you?
punk's an extension of blues as well. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you use any effects, or is that all natural out of the amplifier?
I use fuzz, distortion, delay, octaver.
Yes.
Yeah. I love effects on my bass, and I love my ham too. But it's like
She's basically a guitarist.
yeah,
in Birdstone, I have to play rhythmic to help Basil and to push. So yeah, I'm really present in the record and in life.
it's like
Ben, how much of a challenge was that? Because again, so people know, you did the production and the recording, and I believe the mix you sent it out to Lacage for mastering, if I remember. So Ben, are you recording them live, or do they go into? Are you reamping? Are they going into Pro Tools? How do you capture the insane sound of this band?
Well, it was kind of new to me as well because I have not so many years of recording experience behind me. So it was basically my first or second recording in that setting with a lot of mics and well, a lot more than usual. Um, we tried to use the time we had to just not feel any pressure, any studio pressure, and take this time to try things, to try effects, settings, amp settings, and yeah, we try to capture what we just write.
yeah.
And I didn't do much, you know. We finished recording, and then we just sent the track to Thibaut Chaumont at Deviant Lab. He's one of best mixing engineer I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And he works really, really quickly and really well. He's very, he's very, I don't know. We had a lot of chat about how we wanted to, what we wanted to tell in the songs. He was very listening to us, what we need, and yeah, this was great experience to us, but very, very new to us. And we will see what we do for the next one.
Working on the next one? Do you have a plan? Do you have a sketch?
No plan, but we're hungry. Yeah.
Okay, so I know you're not coming here to America, but do you have any gigs coming up? Do you have a European tour? And yeah. My French and German and European folks are going to want to know, where can they see you next?
We're gonna announce a European tour. We're back on the road in September, so the official dates and gigs is gonna follow up soon on our socials. So, guys, the people that want to come to see us, make sure to check those. And yeah, we're gonna go around. We're not making it public right now, but there's gonna be some gigs. So
In a few days, yeah.
in a few days should be live. Yeah.
Are there any? Let me ask you this: who are the bands? If you could choose any bands right now to co-headline with, who are the bands that you're most interested in touring with?
For me, it's gonna be a a tight battle between Elder and all them witches. I think my part. Yeah,
Maybe King Buffalo.
yeah,
if we
King
can,
Buffalo could be fun too.
if you can game.
Okay, this will embarrass you. And I get one shot at this. So for me, the generational bands are Elder, King Buffalo. And honestly, the Great Anticipation takes Birdstone, and it's now Elder, King Buffalo, Birdstone. I will rave about this album. I'll have a review coming out when I put it. I think it's a masterpiece.
Oh, thank you.
The Devil, especially, I love Eyes on the Ceiling, but The Devil particularly, it is so eclectic and constantly changing.
Wherever I go, I'll be alright. I got the devil by my side. No need to cower in fear of the night. No, with the devil by my side. She is the fire shining so bright. She is my lover and my guide. Show me an apple and I take a bite. I got the devil by my side. Wherever. In my height, walking in the flesh, strange to the bone. I was lost, all alone, looking for a shelter, but a dead tree as a cover. Oh, the rain will be over soon. And she appeared, a traveler trapped in gold. And there in the silence, I swear I heard the call. Wherever I go, I'll be alright. I got the devil by my side.
That the way I describe it, it's like you and Elder took ayahuasca, the psychoactive drug, with the ghost of Stevie Ray Vaughan, and you came out with this blues progressive mishmash that I think stands toe to toe with everything Elder King Buffalo. By the way, I've seen Elder, I sing King Buffalo, so now you're my next
no choice.
my next bucket list band. I know my partner's planning on going to Italy in March, but we are talking about getting over to Europe, and would love to see you at like Duna Jam or something like that.
We'd love to go there, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not up to you.
Yeah, I know.
Up to us. Sorry, up to us. We have to wait. And
I can get my dozens and dozens of fans to demand.
Make
what
demand.
We will demand. We will boycott. It's silly.
No, just
Folks, I really appreciate the time. I know that your time is valuable. Is there anything that I didn't ask you about that you were hoping to talk about?
Just because you were mentioning it for the devil, actually this is the whole thing behind the album was, as we said, working in urgency, trying to get out of our comfort zone and work the most simple and efficient way possible. And so for the devil, it was an optional record. We never played that song even once before recording it. It was like a bunch of riffs. When we record the instruments, there was no text, no lyrics for the song. It was just okay, let's try to mash it together. Really like discussing it with each other. We're like, okay, let's do this riff 4 times, and then maybe that turn around, and then we can switch to, yeah, okay, let's try it. We had Eyes on the Ceiling and Meandre in the box, and we were like, we have 2 days left. What are we gonna do now? So we just, yeah, and it came to life, and then back and forth. I recorded the voice a few days after, and a few tweaks here and there. But yeah, that was it. We never played that song, not once, before recording it.
That's unbelievable to me. That's one of
For
those
us too,
because
we were
it's
the first surprise.
Do you use hand signals or facial expressions to seriously?
We played the riffs. We were like, we knew what the riffs were, but we never like fully experienced the whole song. We discussed the structure, and we settled on it like just before recording. We're like, okay, so it's gonna be verse and the bridge and all those things.
Transition.
Yeah.
Did you write it down, or was it all in your head?
Yeah, we wrote it down. There's a paper in the studio. We're like, okay, 4 times the verse, and then twice this one. And it was like, we all played with so much, not, I wouldn't say fear, but like raw, I don't know, anticipation, for lack of a better word, but we're like recording it, not knowing the parts quite well. And I think that's adds up to the feeling that you couldn't tell if it was live or not, because it was very much, out of our comfort zone. Those songs were so fresh, and we tried to, as much as we could, enjoy the studio as a part of the creative process. Most of the time when we record an album, there's a lot of time between the last rehearsal and then you got to book the studio when all of your songs are ready and clean and all the lyrics are set and you know what you're going to talk about, you know what you're doing. But when you come in the studio, those songs are old in your head. And that's okay. That's not a problem. It's just that was we told ourselves, let's try it differently. And maybe the devil was the most extreme that we could have gone in that direction. Yeah.
So basically, the devil is your paranoid. You just threw it together at the end, came up with the riff, and then went for it. That's amazing. So how long did it take for you to write the album, or did you write the whole album in the studio?
We started writing it. The main riffs and basic melodies a few months ago. Maybe a year before going in studio, but we were kind of in a dead end and struggling for it to have a shape, and we were lacking of deadlines and stuff to cling on. It was like we had several gigs, so we were working for the live performance and never found the time or the right thrust to make those songs really reach final form per se. So we decided to give us a deadline for the studio to make things happen. We were like, okay, there's never going to be a perfect version of those songs. It's always going to be the version that we want to do on this day or the time we decide to record it. So let's just go for it, try to trust ourselves, and we'll see what we came out of it. So yeah, that was the kind of the mind process we were creating those songs in this album.
Well, thank you. I have one last question for everybody. Edwige, what's your favorite song on the album?
Oh, it's hard. I guess Alcyon, because I love the bass line. I just want to. I want to play this song.
It's loud.
It's loud and it's my punk energy.
Is that title a deliberate reference to Elder and King Buffalo?
we didn't found we were stuck on the title for this song, had multiple options, and our manager proposed Alcyon, and we were checking it online. I was like, God, that reminds me of something. I can not quite put the, and so I stumbled upon Alcyon. I was like, yeah, of course that's an Elder song, but we're like, you know what, there can be multiple songs from different bands.
Yeah.
With the, so we just,
Yeah.
and it was nice to kind of yeah.
So I thought maybe it was a hybrid of Acheron from King Buffalo, and then the great Halcyon song. So, you didn't say no. So, pretend I got the scoop. Ben, what's your favorite? Ben, what's your favorite song on the album?
Oof. I'd say it's The Devil. It's
Okay.
Devil, yeah, because it's very, you have no time, you know. It's very one part after another. It's very quick. It's very goes very fast, and I like this feeling. Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I like this one very much. And second one would be Alcyon.
Like, I love getting a number 2 in there. I love that. and Basil, what's your favorite?
It's a struggle, but I would say Cinnamon Creek.
Yes.
Actually, for the record, this is the lyrics are very much inspired by a road trip I had in the States, and through the Northern Pacific, and all those great sceneries we saw there. And for the music part, so with the track per track recording, there was really a work of, you know, getting layers of sounds. The songs as a broad nuance from the basic trio guitar, bass, and drums in the beginning, very soulful. And then you have this explosion after the guitar solo, where we try to really think of it almost not like a pop song, but like a grand, you know, with a lots of flavors in it. And that's something we never did before for me in my own experience. So it was very fresh to try to do this. And then it's a tight battle between the Devil and Alcyon, I would say.
I like that. Right now, today, my favorite song's The Devil Booin'.
Yeah.
I listened to it again later. It's probably going to be Eyes on the Ceiling, just because it's such a wonderful... Guys, I had a thrill. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Good luck, and please stay in touch.
Yeah,
don't go anywhere.
Tell us if you come to Europe.
Oh, believe me, I'll let you know right away.